Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Tuesday, the first day of October. Yeah, National Homemade
Another
Cookies Day.
Oh, I love homemade cookies. We haven't had homemade cookies for
We should
so
have some
long.
today. It's also Filipino Day today. I think that's kind of fun. Filipino. CD Player Day, Balloons Around the World Day, International Coffee Day. Let's go back to CD Player Day. I still have a CD player. I wonder how many people listening still have a CD player.
I still have a CD player.
Yeah, I have one, and I have CDs. So I also have cassettes. I have a couple of 8-tracks, and I have some records. And I'm also weird. National Pumpkin Spice Day. Today is the actual day. National Hair Day. National Black Dog Day. Model T Day. Less Than Perfect Day. Raccoon Appreciation Day.
And who doesn't appreciate a raccoon?
And Music Appreciation Day. So it's a day to appreciate. And musical raccoons? You got something going there. Many other things happening today as well. All of those things. And it's a Tuesday. So we have Tuesdays with Charlie. Sadly, he's still on the phone. We won't have him in the studio, but we'll be chatting with him coming up in a bit.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you're like me, you know that it's more important to your physical and mental health to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, even if I don't. But you also know that sometimes that's impossible, like for me, pretty much every night. Fortunately, according to a new study, you can catch up on your rest every weekend. Well, that's when I'm the busiest. What are you talking about? Researchers presented at a recent meeting on European Society of Cardiology. They showed how sleeping in on the weekends can reduce your risk of heart disease by 20%.
Love
20.
that.
That's a big deal. Study author from China's National Center for Cardiovascular Disease said the effect is especially notable among those who regularly do not get enough sleep on weekdays. Is that everybody?
That would be
I
you.
think that's all of us. And you're right. If you think that it's many people, previous studies found just the opposite. But being the optimistic type, we are willing to go with this study. So
Yeah, I love that.
yeah. So I don't know if it's true. It's what they said at that thing about the stuff, so let's go with it.
I can never get enough sleep.
Yeah.
I could sleep and sleep and sleep.
Yeah, I cannot. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, well, time to get up. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Hi, did you know the average adult has 2 embarrassing secrets they want to keep from people? This was a study in England in 2021. They found that the biggest thing were mental health issues that they didn't want to tell anybody about. And number 2 was cringeworthy incidents. A third of the respondents admitted to keeping such mistakes to themselves. The rest of the top 5 secrets in order: people's internet history, their eating or snacking habits, and their hygiene habits. For me, I make mistakes all the time, and then I share them on the stage, and I call it comedy.
I share mine with everybody. Whenever something stupid happens, I'm like,
I do
okay,
dumb
here's
stuff.
what happened today.
Yeah, we don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Shark Tank has promoted billionaire Kind Snacks founder Daniel Lubitsky to full-time shark investor on the ABC series. Mark Cuban is leaving, and he has taken his seat, and it kicks off season 16 on October the 18th. Shark Tank. I haven't watched it in a couple of years. Not that I've been avoiding it, I just haven't had a chance, but I do like it. Ellen DeGeneres has unveiled the first trailer for For Your Approval, her final stand-up special, and you'll be able to watch that soon. And I do have a link to the trailer if you'd like to see that. It's in the show notes.
I really liked her as a comedian. I wonder if this one will be
I hope
good
so.
or if it's going to be woke.
She was hilarious as a stand-up comic.
She was.
And Angela Kinsey is about to make a Hallmark Channel debut. The Office star is going to headline Confessions of a Christmas Letter, which will premiere later this year as part of the network's Countdown to Christmas programming event. Are we getting that close that we're going to start having Hallmark Christmas stuff? I actually really do enjoy those movies, and I get to do interviews with many of the people, and I always look forward to them. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on RadioSavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at RadioSavings.com. That's RadioSavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A study found a link between poor social skills in children and television viewing. So it's almost like they're being programmed by the shows they watch.
To be rude.
Yeah.
I remember there were a couple shows, so I
We just
walked
said,
in the room when
nope.
our daughter was watching. We're like, you're done.
We're not going to watch that anymore.
In fact, we blocked that whole channel.
Yeah, like if that's the way they treat their parents on these
It
shows.
was terrible.
This was 10 to 15 years ago.
Oh,
So
yeah.
our kids are in their 20s
Yeah.
now. But I remember, there were shows on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel where they treated the adults like morons.
It was awful.
I'm like,
So
why
we're
would
done
you-
with this.
Like, I get it that the show is for kids, but have some respect for your parents,
Yeah.
you'd think. All right, moving on. A British tattoo artist is becoming known for his signature debossed tattoos. They look like they're carved into your skin.
Oh.
Daniel Gulliver, I don't know how you say if it's Daniel or Daniel, goes by Gully, specializes in a number of different types of tattoos, but a lot of them are ultra-realistic portraits and optical illusions, and they look debossed. They almost look like they're carved.
That would be
into your
super
skin.
cool.
Yeah, and I've got a link to the guy's Instagram if you want to see. It's called Gully Tattoo on Instagram, but I have a link to it in the show notes. And some timely advice for those packing or heading back to the classroom or back to the office this fall. Timely advice from a month ago when I got this story. It's been a month. This is how far behind I am on some of my emails. Avoid mid-thickness paper. If you're concerned about getting a nasty paper cut, 3 physicists in Denmark carried out experiments to determine the likelihood of slicing your skin using different thicknesses of common paper. The most likely to cause, by the way, was mid-thickness. So that's like printer paper, newspaper, Post-it notes, all of those are different thicknesses, but the one in the middle was the worst. Thicker paper has too flat of an edge to slice you. Thin paper just kind of buckles under the pressure. So they're saying that mid-weight paper.
If the biggest concern in your life is you might get a paper cut, then read this study.
Some of the paper was so sharp they could cut vegetables and meat with it. So, yeah, that's what it says in the story. I've got all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We reach out to my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
Still on the phone, even though he's retired, decided not to come visit. How you doing, Charlie?
He never calls. He never writes.
I never call, never write.
We're fortunate to even talk to you here. I get it. I understand.
He's a
Who
busy
gave you my
man.
number anyway?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that you've been golfing, which is nice. So you retired and you've been golfing and you've been having fun. But, we've got golf courses here, too.
Really?
Yeah. I've never been on
didn't
one.
know that.
I've never been on one. I've driven past a few. But... So what kind of good
You're
stuff? What kind of good
You're
stuff?
an idiot.
I know. What kind of good stuff do you have for us this week, Charlie?
Hey, you know Bob Ross?
Yeah, the painter. Love that guy.
He died, right?
Yeah,
Yes, he
sadly, he's gone.
Do you know that he never received any money for his show?
Yeah, I did
What?
know that. Yeah, it was public broadcasting. He did that for free.
He must have sold, it says here he sold a lot of art supplies, though, through his company.
Yeah.
And videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made money doing other things. Yes.
I liked him.
Oh
I
yeah.
did too.
I liked it when he smacked the paintbrush.
Yeah,
and then
he would always
smile.
giggle. He'd always giggle.
He'd clean the paint and like smack it on the leg, and he would chuckle.
I do that to Sanders' leg too, and then I chuckle.
What are you doing with the paintbrush?
And speaking of that,
I like retired Charlie.
can you tell I'm bored already? This fits right in too. Men who help with housework tend to have more sex.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, Charlie, you're retired. You got plenty of time now.
That's what I'm saying. The average amount of time a woman can keep a secret, you know how many that is?
How many?
47 hours and 15 minutes.
47 hours.
Not even a solid 2 days.
That's right, that'd be 48 hours.
I know. See, I did some quick math in my head there.
That was super impressive.
I had to write it down, subtract it, so that's how I come up with it. Back in the Roman days, Romans believed eyelashes fell out from excessive sex. Your eyelashes?
Yeah.
And that if you found a really long one, it indicated purity and chastity.
Oh, wow.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, we've learned so much since
We
then.
really have.
I don't know who put that in there. I think it was one of my staff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you fired the whole staff.
Well, of which I don't have any anymore, so
Yeah.
what you get is what you get.
There you go. Well, I like it. I like I said, I like retired Charlie. He's fun.
Hey, I got one last thing here for you then.
All right.
Do you speak Japanese?
No.
No.
Do you know what karaoke means in Japanese?
Empty orchestra.
How did you know that?
I heard this before on Tuesdays with Charlie.
I bet you did, because my note here is back in 2015.
Yeah. I remembered that.
Are you just
8/24,
recycling stuff?
2015.
Yeah.
Well, I had to. I don't have a staff anymore.
So if everything we heard today sounds familiar, that was your last thing?
How odd. Yes, it was.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. Every year, about what percent of the atoms in your body are replaced? What percentage of the atoms in your body replace every single year?
28.
69.
You guys are both way off. 98%.
Whoa.
Yeah, you were 98% a new person every single year.
That's awesome.
Holy mackerel.
Only 2% of you was around this time last year, Charlie.
That's pretty good, though, if 2% of me is still around.
Yeah, but you're a whole new man, so that's good. I like that old 2%, but I also like the new 98%. I like all of you, Charlie.
You got a question for me?
That was a question. I already gave it to you.
Oh, that was a question? I thought I told you that.
I like retired Charlie.
You should never drink Bloody Marys.
Are you drinking, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay, that explains everything. All right.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes, it is Tuesday. Well, it's always a pleasure, Charlie. Thank you for taking the time in your retired lifestyle now to chat with us.
Maybe we'll do it in the office next time.
That would be awesome.
Be great.
I'm excited to see you.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Babies cry for an average of 1 to 3 hours each day.
Yeah.
That is, you never think really about that, but when you add it all up, 1 to 3 hours a day. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are 923 words in the English language that break the I before E rule. There's only 44 words that actually follow it. It's not a very good rule then, is it?
It's not a very good rule.
No, that's 44 that do, 923 that don't. Let's call that a rule. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Experts say it's harder to tell a lie to somebody that you find sexually attractive. That's why I can never lie to you.
Right.
Can I lie to you?
You can't lie to anybody.
No, I can't lie to you for sure. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Scientists have concluded that the chicken did come first, not the egg, because the protein which made the egg is only produced by hens. So that's how they know.
See, there you go.
Yeah. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cats do not have a collarbone. Therefore, they can fit through any opening the size of their head, which is also why a necktie is a horrible gift for a cat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. It has been calculated that over 10 billion of these are sent every single day. What are they? I'm not really one that does this, by the way.
Texts?
Emojis.
Oh.
So I put a smiley face. Would that be an emoji?
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it because it's an emoji. I'm trying to let people know I'm kidding about things. When I say something that's silly, I don't want them to think, this guy's an idiot. No, I'm just joking. That's all. And I'm an idiot. So, Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. The newest Gen Z slang term is oomph.
That's not new.
A term of affection that has recently been popularized online by Gen Z, but has actually existed for years. On X, it has been used as a hashtag to mean one of my followers since 2010. Young people are now using it to refer to other social media users they interact with. So in calling somebody a BFF as a best friend forever, your friend is fully aware that they have a close spot in your heart. But anyone can be an oomph. That is anonymity
This is so ridiculous.
of the word's appeal, because you can covertly say things about them. Oh, he's just an oomph. One of my followers. One of my friends. All right. I don't get any of that. How about you just don't talk about them if they're not your friends? Weird news. Where is my old man stuff? I'm an old man. I feel I should be checking into the old man.
Can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
I got to go to the old man department. Weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Oh, this is going to last a couple of days for sure. Things that are getting out of control these days. I've got quite a list here. I'm going to make it through some of them today and some tomorrow, and we might even have some for like the next day. But things that are getting out of control today. Tipping culture. Everyone agrees on this, but nobody's doing anything about it. It says, why should you tip for counter service?
Yes.
Or self-checkout machines. So
yes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, tipping is, again, I'm not saying I don't believe in tipping, but I think that it's gotten a little bit out of control. And there's some stuff that we're like, why would we tip for that? Next on the list, subscriptions for everything. Remember when you didn't have to give all of your personal information just to watch a game or to go to a website or to watch a show? And now you have to give them all of this stuff. They have to know everything just so you can do whatever super simple thing, and it requires all your information. I don't want that anymore. And we'll do one more today. Too many apps. It's also getting out of control. Everything has an app. Good deals at stores, need an app. Event tickets, need an app. Parking, need an app.
Yeah, and then your
Simple
phone is
meal out,
overloaded
need an
with
app.
all these apps.
Yeah, so we'll continue the list. You can see the entire list in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD. or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. This is another one of them anonymous quotes, Heidi. I'm going to just start attributing all of the anonymous quotes to you.
Okay.
All right. So this quote is from Heidi Small. She said, "Zombies eat brains. You're safe." That does sound
That
like
actually
something.
does sound like something I would
Sounds like
say.
something you'd say. I think you'd even wear a shirt that says that. So, quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline. She was dying. Carpenter saves teenage girl's life after an accident. A 30-year-old carpenter by the name of Bradley Kupris in Illinois saved the life of a 14-year-old, Stephanie Paluska, after a devastating bicycle accident left her fighting for her life.
Oh, my gosh.
She's a freshman in high school, and she just finished her second day of classes when she decided to take her bicycle out for a ride. As she was speeding down a hill, disaster struck.
Oh, my gosh.
She lost control, and her bike slammed into the ground. In a cruel twist of fate, one of the bike's handle grips was missing, leaving a sharp exposed metal pipe
Oh, my gosh.
that pierced her right groin area and severed her femoral artery.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. A severed femoral artery can cause rapid blood loss, leading to unconsciousness and death within just a matter of minutes. She felt herself slipping away, believing that she would not survive, but help was on the way. Kupris, who had been working on a woodworking project nearby, heard the commotion and rushed outside. He sprinted a block, following a trail of blood,
Oh, my gosh.
and he found her on the ground, severely injured. He said the whole thing looked impossible, like it couldn't be real. I saw something that looked like a rifle wound on her upper thigh. Quickly, he realized what was going on. He grabbed a first aid kit from his truck and immediately applied pressure to the wound. Using compressed gauze, he packed the injury and held it firm for 15 agonizing minutes until the EMS responders got
that is
there.
terrifying.
Hopefully, I can meet him and thank him and tell him I'm alive because of you, she said. So at the time this story came out, they hadn't met. I'm sure they have now because this came
Holy
out
cow.
September 19th. So, but what an amazing tale. And that could have ended horribly for this young lady. And luckily there was somebody there to save the day.
That knew what to do.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
Think about this. He had a first aid kit
Right.
with compression gauze and all of
Right.
that stuff
That's
in
a
his
God
vehicle.
thing.
Yeah. What are the odds that somebody would just have that stuff? You know?
Right.
So luckily
Oh my
he
gosh.
did. And
Terrifying.
makes me think we should get that kind of stuff and leave it in our vehicle. 'Cause we would have been.
We
I'd be-
should.
feel like I got some McDonald's napkins. That's about all I got. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.